Hi there, it's Barbara from Healthy Happy You, and as promised, here is your first session for self-help on emotional eating. If you watched my previous YouTube videos, I've structured a transformation program to help you heal your emotional eating, and I just really want to help everybody by doing quick videos for the next few weeks. So every week I'm going to post a quick session. So this week we're going to be looking at exploring your emotional eating patterns, which will focus on encouraging a little bit of a self-reflection and also help you understand the difference between emotional and physical hunger. So you might grab a pen and paper, and whilst you're doing that, I just want to make sure that you can check out my website on healthyhappyu.co.uk. If you subscribe and sign up for my newsletter, you get lots of hints and tips and you get amazing discounts. Obviously, if you want to work with me on one-on-one with this program, just drop me a quick comment below or via my website. I've got really reasonable prices. These programs that I do are not overpriced like many that you can find. I want to make sure that this is affordable and accessible for everybody. Right, so let's have a look at exploring your emotional eating patterns, okay? I think what would be really good at first is let's have a look at these triggers behind emotional eating and what that means for you, because everybody will be slightly different. If we just briefly define, emotional eating is basically eating in response to emotions rather than physical hunger. So we have emotional hunger and physical hunger, okay? And again, if you watched a lot of my videos before, you know I myself have struggled with emotional eating, and just recognizing those triggers and patterns has been absolutely essential for making positive changes. So let's have a look at self-reflection for a moment. Grab your pens and papers or your notebooks, notepads, or if you're typing in your computer. I think I'll give you a little bit of time, or feel free to pause the video at this moment as well. The first question I want you to ask is, what do you think those emotions that trigger your overeating are? Okay? So what emotions trigger your overeating? Now, you might be really self-aware, and this might be a really easy thing for you to do. So you can say, right, well, when I'm bored, I go and eat something because I don't know what else to do. You could write that when you're stressed or when you're dealing with a stressful situation, you immediately go and soothe yourself and calm yourself down by finding something to eat. Okay. You could also write that you eat when you're happy. That's perfectly emotional eating. When you're happy, when you celebrate, we as humans have a tendency to celebrate with food. It's a social occasion, we go out for a meal. It's when it then becomes a lot more personal. So when you're happy, you feel like, I need to find something to eat. Or one of the very, very normal and the most often one I find is reward. So you've had a hard day and you get home from work or school or college, and you feel like, right, done my day, I've done all these jobs, it's been really hard and stressful, I need to reward myself. So these are some of the examples whilst you're writing. Okay, so journal your thoughts and feelings. What emotions trigger your overeating? The next question I'd like you to think about is mindless eating. Give me some examples. When do you tend to eat mindlessly? Is it when you get home and the first thing you do, you go to the fridge and you don't even know you're doing it? It's a habit that all of a sudden becomes mindless. It's something you get in the house. You might take your coat and your shoes off, go and wash your hands, and then you head in straight for the fridge. Open it and stare at it, see what's in there. That is an example of mindless eating. You almost feel like you cannot control it. So give me examples. When do you tend to eat mindlessly? It could also be that you have your dinner at the end of the day watching telly. That's quite mindless eating too, because you're watching telly, you're trying to focus on something else, and you're not really focusing on what is on your plate. What does it taste like? What does it smell like? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it crunchy? Is it sweet? Is it savoury? Another example is probably work lunches, where you eat at your desk whilst you're trying to, right, I'll just have a quick half an hour, I'll put my lunch right here and I'm going to answer emails in the meantime, or I can read my emails in the meantime, or book, or you grab your phone and you scroll through social media. These things can be mindless eating. Okay? For this third question, I'd like you to write how many meals a day do you eat? Do you have your breakfast, lunch and dinner? Do you have snacks in between? So I'd like you to write it one underneath the other. Breakfast, lunch, dinner and then snacks. And when we get off this, when you get a quiet moment afterwards, I'd like to encourage that you start writing a bit of a food diary. Do it for the next week until the next session, and you can see what you're eating and what sort of meals those are. You don't have to count calories. I don't want you counting macros. I don't want you putting portions. It is literally just had a chicken sandwich for lunch and a packet of crisps, home cooked dinner, chili con carne and jacket potato. That's it, okay? Because I'd like you to get into the habit of writing your food diary. When we do the next session, session number 3, then we are also going to put emotions, how we're feeling. So that would be the next step. So get into the habit of writing a food diary. Okay? Right, so you should have those 3 questions written down. And I'd like you to have a little bit of a thing, because now we've done this exercise, can you share any insights or discoveries about your emotional eating triggers? Can you start thinking about those? I would love you to comment below the video, or you can also message me, my email address, or via social media. It would be really good to start exploring your feelings, your emotions, because this is something that I want you to really have a quiet, well-rested space. It's safe and it's non-judgmental, okay? It would be really good if you now could have a think about clear explanation or examples of all those feelings, what insights, what emotional triggers, okay? Because that is going to help you understand where those triggers are coming from. What are the root causes? What is it that you're really hungry for? Because if you're an emotional eater, then it's not hunger, okay? It's not food that you're craving. talking about hunger, let's have a think. And I'll give you a few examples between emotional and physical hunger, because I think that will really help you understand. Okay. There is something I call the hunger scale, and I'll put some links underneath the video so you can download these and you can go and Google what hunger scales are. And they are a really, really great tool to use to gauge your hunger level. So, as I said before, emotional eating is when you eat for emotions, not for physical hunger. It could be any kind of emotions, from happiness through to sadness, from stress through to boredom, anger, any kind of emotion. That is emotional hunger. You don't feel hungry. You literally just want to eat because something has happened. It's a reaction. Okay? Physical hunger, and this is where the hunger scale comes in super handy, because you have that, I'm starving, I'm absolutely starving, I need something to eat right now. I am feeling my tummy is hurting, it's making lots of noises, it feels empty, I'm feeling a bit shaky, I'm feeling a bit dizzy, to that kind of a post-Christmas dinner feeling where, oh my God, I'm so full I can't move. I don't think I can get off the table and I need to go and undo my trousers. That's probably a 10 on the hunger scale, okay? So where we want to be, and yes, you guessed it, somewhere in between. There is something called intuitive eating, and I will come across that a little bit later on in the course when we're looking at different solutions. But for now, let's talk about physical hunger. Where you wrote your breakfast, lunch, dinner and snacks, it would be really good to also link that to the hunger scale, because do you have breakfast in the morning when you wake up just for the sake of having breakfast because it's breakfast time, but you're not actually hungry? I find lots of people that I work with, they're not hungry, but they just feel that they have to have breakfast because that's what they've always done. So it's a habit. Lots of people would quite happily go till 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. They get to work and then they start to feel a little bit hungry, like they can do with something to eat. So a hunger scale can be used in so many different ways. And I'd like you to find your own. And note that down. So the best it works is if you're putting your numbers, if you're writing your food diary, write your number from 1 to 10 where you are on the hunger scale when you're eating. Okay. I suppose that one of the things that where you probably have the most emotional eating is around snacks, unplanned snacks, I presume. So when I'm working with my clients, as we write the food diary and as we do the hunger scale, we then look at the snacks, and it is usually that where lots of people are finding out that's where the emotional eating is. So their meals are fairly solid. Again, we're creatures of habit. So breakfast, lunch and dinner, 2 or 3 meals a day is something where we've developed those habits, and our tummies start rumbling before lunch because that's what we've always used to. A lot of people that I work with do intermittent fasting. It is something that I can recommend. However, you really need to speak to a professional. So when we work on a one-on-one basis, we always look at the possibility of of intermittent fasting. But it has to be consulted with a professional, with a nutritionist, with your GP, because there are lots of factors that we need to take into consideration. So I wouldn't recommend that you start fasting just on your own, because you could have potential health issues, conditions, something to take into consideration. If you look at my social media, I've done plenty of videos on intermittent fasting as well. Right. So, physical hunger, going back to it, something you can explore a lot more. And again, as one of the homeworks that you're going to have from this session is to look at various sensations associated with the hunger scale. So the physical hunger, emotional hunger we've talked about, but with the physical hunger, what are the sensations? Is it your tummy rumbling? Is it that you're feeling a little bit weak or dizzy or shaky? And also, I'd like you to look at the opposite side of scale, so from sort of 5 to 10. What are those sensations that you're experiencing? Write it all down. Give yourself a treat in a nice big journal, or you can download an app, or you can do it in a Word document, whatever tool you're using. It is really useful to write things down. Start journaling. If nothing this week, I don't want you changing any diets. I don't want you to start counting calories. I don't want you trying to go on a particular kind of diet or eliminate any foods that you think you shouldn't be eating. I don't want you doing that. All I want you to do this week is start noticing your eating pattern and your emotional and physical hunger sensations. Okay? Nothing else. I think, if anything, one super good strategy that works with me, and I've tested this with lots of people, is really recognizing emotional hunger in real time. If you're feeling like you want to emotionally eat, if you've got that emotional hunger going on, ask yourself, would you eat an apple or a salad or cooked broccoli? If you answer yes to that question, then you probably are hungry. But if you answer no, I'm actually craving chocolates right now, or biscuits, or anything else, that's probably emotional hunger. Okay? So would I eat an apple or a salad at the moment? And this is something that we will slowly work on. We will work on mindfulness and self-awareness in this program, and that can really do great things and support the process. Okay, right, well, we're coming up to a little bit of a homework and action. Like I said, I would really encourage you to continue the self-reflection and journaling for the next week. Start understanding how you're feeling. Start tracking your emotional eating triggers and patterns over the week. Okay? And if you really feel like you want to do a little bit of extra, then practice distinguishing between emotional and physical hunger every day. Am I hungry? Would I eat a salad? Okay. Now, I would love to know if you've got any questions, so I can help you answer them. Please feel free to pop that in the comment below. Let me know if you need any more help, and if there's anything else that you'd like from me. Okay? Next week, when we meet, we're going to unravel a little bit in terms of how's the journaling and self-reflection been. So we'll have a little bit of a session on that. I'll give you some pointers. Obviously, these sessions are recorded, so if you want to get in touch with me, do so via email or social media. I've designed this session to help you understand your emotional eating patterns and develop self-awareness about the difference between emotional and physical hunger. Okay, there's so much more discussion that we can have, and I'd love to see that in the comments. This journey is not a quick fix. It doesn't happen overnight, and that's why we're doing this week by week. So it'll be about 6 to 8 weeks long, and there'll be a lot of self-reflection, because we need to have a deeper understanding of your relationship with food. Okay, it is an absolutely crucial step in overcoming emotional eating habits. Okay, you cannot do this unless you understand what is behind your relationship with food. And we will get into the traumas, we will get into the habits, we will tackle all that. But for now, I want you to become the observer. Okay, right. Well, have a fabulous day and a week ahead. I'd love to hear all your thoughts and let me know how you get on. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.